Welcome back to DT Daily. I'm Casey Montoya. Kicking off this week's big tech news, Hurricane Sandy wreaks havoc on Google's Nexus 4 announcement. The U.S. Supreme Court hears landmark case on reselling gadgets and other goods. Amazon mocks Apple's new iPad mini. Steve Jobs' yacht makes its inaugural appearance, and VW kills the microbus. With Hurricane Sandy sending damaging wind, rain, and waves upon much of the East Coast today, Google has decided to call off its big Android event in New York City, which was originally scheduled for today. Google is expected to unveil a number of gadgets, including a new 32GB Nexus 7 tablet, a 10-inch Nexus tablet made by Samsung, the latest version of its Android operating system, and the Nexus 4, its flagship smartphone. Google has not yet announced a new time for the event. The U.S. Supreme Court will begin hearing today a case that will determine whether you can resell, loan, or buy everything from used smartphones to books. The landmark case centers around a Thai-born student, Supap Kurdsang, who created a business importing textbooks from overseas and selling them to U.S. college students at a reduced price. Textbook publisher John Wiley & Sons is suing Kurdsang for copyright infringement. If the court sides with the publisher, it could potentially block websites like eBay and Amazon, and even brick-and-mortar outlets like Goodwill from allowing the sale of used goods. Needless to say, this is one court case to keep an eye on. Amazon is using its popular homepage to take a swing at Apple's new iPad mini tablet, saying that customers who buy its Kindle Fire device will get much more for much less. The Kindle Fire, which starts at $200, offers a higher resolution screen, high-definition video support, and faster Wi-Fi than the $330 iPad mini. Despite its relatively high cost, however, the iPad mini is already sold out on Apple's website, which says it will now take up to 2 weeks for customers to receive their device. A yacht designed by late Apple co-founder Steve Jobs and famous minimalist designer Philip Stark was unveiled this weekend in Holland. Dubbed Venus after the Roman goddess of love and beauty, the yacht measures 260 feet long and incorporates 27-inch iMac computers into its interior design. Every employee aboard Venus received a note from the Jobs family, as well as an iPod Shuffle with their names inscribed on the back. After 60 years in production, the Volkswagen microbus is no more. The German automaker has revealed that the last microbus will roll off the assembly line on December 31st of next year. The end of the microbus's long run, which started in 1950, comes as a result of new safety guidelines imposed by the government of Brazil. South America, the last and final market where the microbus, known as the Combi, is sold. That's it for this edition of DT Daily. If you're in the market for a new tablet, make sure to check out our review of the Microsoft Surface and check back later today when we take a closer look at how online memes are affecting this year's election.